Hi guys, so today we're here at Leo Studio and we're going to record a video for my new song, Vienna. Behind me is this wonderful string quartet which we're going to be recording with today, and it's going to be such a fun day.
Are we crescendoing into the chorus 4, or are we going away?
The chorus 4 crescendo into it.
Okay, crescendo into it. Okay.
So actually the theme of my EP, which is Places, actually came about before the idea to record an EP even happened. This was about kind of maybe around June or so in 2023, before I was going to go to the US to start school. I didn't really want to go to the US at that point because, I had so much stuff going on in Singapore. I was kind of like going to be torn away from my life in Singapore to go and start anew in the US. So one day as I was just sitting there, I kind of thought it would be quite meaningful to record a few songs on my own, just for fun. Around this theme of places. To me, ultimately, it was about just singing a bunch of songs that kind of reflected this sense of escapism where I could dream about a life in a different place. Because having spent a year overseas now, I've come to appreciate home a lot more, but I've also come to enjoy being overseas, and I really want to explore different places. I want to live in different places, I want to see different places, and that's very much what the EP is about. My approach to recording a new song is, I think the very first step is obviously to identify what song I want to record. In order to do this, I think about songs that I like, or I go around asking people for suggestions. I might have like a vibe in mind, but I don't quite know what songs fit that vibe, right? Once I decide on what song I want to record, then usually I will listen to a few versions. I will listen to these things for about a week, and then after that I stop listening to it altogether because I want to spend some time alone with the song and kind of develop my own style, develop my own interpretation, and then from there it's jumping to the studio, discussing with the producers, trying to get my interpretation across. On this project I worked with a good friend of mine, Sulwyn, and throughout the entire process we're always in dialogue and we're always discussing kind of how I saw the song and how he saw the song and how he could execute my vision and obviously incorporate his own vision into it as well.
Hello, I am Sulwyn. I'm a composer and I'm the music director and arranger for Corey's EP this year. I first met Corey almost about 10 years ago. Back then I was doing a benefit concert for a children's charity called The New Tomorrow, and I needed a singer. So my good friend actually recommended me to Corey. He said, "You got to listen to this boy's voice." Corey was then a young boy. So I watched a short clip of Corey singing Bring Him Home, and I was so captivated by his voice and I knew I had to get him in. And so my friend linked us up. I had a very good conversation with Corey and we did a great concert together, and the rest was history.
I think with Sulwyn, what I appreciate is that we're both classically trained, so we often speak the same language in that sense, The thing about recording in a studio is that because you can have multiple takes, right? It often takes a long time to arrive on the area that you want. So you can try all kinds of different things in a studio, and then you constantly communicate, and then eventually the producer and the artist will decide, okay, we'll take this approach, and then we'll do a few takes in that area and then really refine it as we go along. So I would say that's the process as a whole, but ultimately it's just really all about communication. So the original concept for the entire EP was actually just going to be string quartet and vocalist. The reason why was because we wanted to go for a really more elegant, refined vibe for a lot of these more pop songs. And then for Vienna specifically, we actually started out with the idea that it was just going to be a solo cello because we wanted this grungy, edgy, rebellious vibe. Soon that evolved into we maybe put in some strings at some parts, and then eventually that evolved into why don't I throw in a guitar here and see how that sounds. So with Sulwyn, we really just ran through the song a couple of times and then we worked on individual aspects and kind of made the track just like that. In the studio when I was recording my vocals, I learned so much this time from working with Leonard and observing how he works. With Sulwyn as well, who really, he was able to bring out kind of the classical aspects that I wanted to bring out while also like retaining the pop flavor in it.
When we were working on the concept of the EP, we were deciding what instruments should go into this first EP of Corey. And I think quite naturally the idea of something acoustic came to us, something not overly processed. And then I think an idea just clicked that we should bring in a string quartet, because I think string quartets is very much associated with classical music, just paying homage to Corey's classical background. But I think there's something really powerful in the intimacy of just having these 4-string instruments come together to play and supporting the sound of Corey. And then, apart from the string quartet, I think we wanted to bring in something that was very personal to Corey. And even though Corey is a professional singer, he has been a very avid guitarist. And we thought, hey, why not try, like, initially it wasn't like a sure thing, like we're gonna have guitar in this, but it was more of, I laid out some of the arrangements for the strings and I brought Corey into my studio, and Corey brought his guitar along and we said, let's just try some stuff out. So I hooked him up on the computer and then we just tried some stuff out on the guitar, and like, wow, that actually worked very well. And I think there's something very organic about him playing guitar on his own EP as well.
I think what's unique about my music is that I really aim to marry two contrasting approaches, which is like classical and pop. And obviously this is because like I've been singing classical stuff since I was like 6 years old. So it's very much a part of me that frankly I can't get rid of even if I tried. I think it's a very integral part of who I am as a musician. So in my version of it, I think the first thing that's very different is the arrangement. You know, it's like pure strings and we have a bit of a guitar. I would say overall we're going for a little bit more of an elegant, like refined sort of touch to it, while retaining that kind of rebellious edge, almost almost angry kind of edge to it. And I think that's what I really like about the song and also how I interpreted it. It's also something that really relates to me personally, because I find that I'm the kind of person that is always like super like rushing from place to place, and I'm trying to do all these different things, right? So when I first heard the song as a kid many years ago, the lyrics really resonated in that sense. So when I got the chance to record this EP, this was one of the first songs that I knew I wanted to do, and already I kind of had a picture in mind as to how I was going to do it, which is that it's going to be similar to the original, but we're going to give it that little bit of like classical flavor from my training and all my years as a classical singer, while retaining that edge to it. So for me, the most immediate goal is working towards my concert in December, which is a huge milestone for me because this will be my first kind of full-length solo concert. Yeah, I'm just really, really excited for that and looking forward to getting started on preparation. It's not going to be an easy process, but I'm sure that I'll learn a lot and I'll have so much fun while doing it.